Hi guys, my name is Nick Carlson, and this is The Rise of Analytics in Sports, a look into our future. Today, I'm going to tell you guys about how Brad Pitt and his performance in the 2011 film Moneyball paved the way for analytics in sports. Well, kind of. Although his performance was award-worthy, Moneyball mainly showed all of us what was yet to come in sports. This session is about numbers now and numbers in the future. Analytics are drastically changing the landscape of sports, affecting teams and employees alike. Throughout this speech, I will explain what analytics are, how they are changing the industry, and what effects they will have on career opportunities in sports. Let me start by breaking down sports analytics. According to Lee Steinberg on October 18, 2015, analytics primarily give players value in any and every situation. They take various metrics into account in order to help decision makers make calculated decisions. Essentially, these numbers can take a manager's hunch or gut instinct out of a decision. The classic example that many of you may be familiar with, and that I alluded to earlier, is the example of the 2002 Oakland Athletics during their Moneyball season. As told by Carol Boss on September 11, 2011, Billy Beane, the general manager of the A's at the time, decided to play the numbers as opposed to the conventions, getting rid of 3 of the team's best hitters being loaded up on players with a good on-base percentage. Basically, the A's lineup was lacking in power, but was stacked with players who could get on base. The thinking was that getting more runners on base would lead to more runs, and more runs would lead to more wins. And boy was he right. If you see on the slide here, I have the 2002 payrolls. Up at number 1, you can see the New York Yankees, who were paying their players about $126 million collectively over that year. All the way down here at number 28, out of 30, is the Oakland Athletics, who were paying their players about $39.5 million. Normally, you would think that paying players more would lead to more success, but this wasn't the case this year. On the right, I have the standings from that season. Oakland finished 103-59. Tied for the best record in baseball. So clearly it worked. Since analytics have been on the rise, every MLB team has created an analytics staff, along with teams from the NFL, the NHL, and the NBA. Although not everybody has bought in completely, they're all trying to learn the new system. So now that we're beginning to understand analytics in sports, we can look at how they're changing the industry. There are several aspects of sports that are already changing with the introduction of analytics. As reported by Anubhav Srivastava on February 16, 2015, analytics are affecting 3 major stakeholders, which are fans, teams, and owners. This is changing the way organizations operate and where they invest their time and focus. On this slide, I have examples of some of the new technology in sports. On the left here, I have wearables. These are data tracking devices that athletes can wear during practice and in the game, and it tracks their every movement. On the right, I have an example of what the San Antonio Spurs, are using in the NBA, and all teams actually are using this in the NBA. They track the information every second of what a player does, and they can see what a player's likelihood of passing or shooting is in any situation. On the bottom is an example of dynamic ticket pricing. Organizations are changing the price of each ticket depending on who the team is playing in order to maximize revenue. As the technology improves and the movement spreads, we can expect more change in the future. Lauren Brassell, on March 13, 2014, predicted some of those changes. She mentioned the introduction of live on-field data collection for the coaches and fans to interact with, insight predicting fans' preference within ticket buying and at concessions and merchandise stores, and even robot umpires in baseball. There has been speculation that scouts will use this software to track athletes in high school and college. However, there are some challenges facing this progress. Those challenges include data method and actual data sharing. Teams don't want to share the information that they have because they want to keep their competitive advantage. Another issue is cost. It costs a lot of money to get and maintain this software. Finally, there is a lack of talented people in the field. This issue of a talent shortage leads me to my final point, that analytics are creating jobs in sports. With analytics as young as it is, many teams have a need for employees with these skills. These screenshots are from a list put together by ESPN.com, which measures a franchise's analytics staff, buy-in from executives and coaches, investment in biometric data, and how much a team's strategy is predicated on analytics. As you can see, there are many teams in each league that have yet to really commit to analytics, hence the skeptics and non-believers categories. This list doesn't even include other sports that are on the rise, such as UFC or motocross, and it doesn't include college athletics. With this new sector comes a new skill set. Howard Hamilton, on December 21st, 2015, laid out the necessary skills for an analytics employee. As you'd expect, the list includes a lot of math, but also stats, machine learning, programming, database knowledge, and communication skills. At the end of the day, if you can't communicate your data, it's worthless. As of not too long ago, college students are now able to major in sports analytics. The first program was actually launched here at SU. Having taken a look at analytics and its impact on the industry, let's review. Analytics are spreading rapidly in sports, but there's still a lot of learning and incorporation yet to come. In a short amount of time, the industry has undergone a lot of change in all sectors, and we can expect to see more noticeable change in the near future. With the introduction of analytics, several job opportunities have opened up that never before existed, leading students to even major in analytics. Analytics will be hugely important to the future of sports, continuing to influence how we consume sports as well as influence career opportunities for college graduates like ourselves, but at this point, we can only speculate. I hope this was interesting, and thank you for listening.